Welcome back to a brand new episode of $1,000 Car Guy. I'll be your host for the evening, Andrew. So today, we're going to be working on the loom. It's always the wiring loom. So like I was so calmly saying, a few of you messaged me and told me that that box that's way down there, with the lines coming out of it, yes, that box. That's my ABS module, whatever. ABS box, it controls the ABS. So, these two connectors that I didn't know what they did before, that's what they do. So I'd like to take them out of the system now if possible. In order to do that, I'm going to want to first plug my battery back in, start the car. Yes, there's no mass airflow sensor. We just want to make sure that it can turn over and cough start. I don't expect it to run very well without the mass airflow sensor on it, which is down there next to that huge flammable can of gas. Come to think of it, I don't think I have this line capped off from the radiator. It's probably not important. Let's see here. Some sort of ignition sort of thing, sort of. I don't know. It's only going to be running for a few seconds. Now, do you think it wouldn't start because of the mass airflow? I guess we have to find out now. Now, remembering how all this came apart and went together is being quite troublesome. Did I cut off the wrong connector? I don't hear my fuel pump priming. So that could be an issue. So if you guys at home could tell me why you actually watch this show, I'd really like to hear it. So most of what I do right now is just problem solving, so I was right. There's no fuel making its way to the engine. The fuel pump is not priming, so therefore no start, obviously. So I went back and started at the fuel pump, and I noticed that there are three main wires going to the fuel pump. So we've got this yellowish wire, a black wire, and then a green wire. And then, almost likewise, we have a green with yellow stripe, a white wire, and a black wire. So when I follow them all the way back here, blah, 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 I can trace my one white wire to this connector, which doesn't go anywhere, so that's no help. Then I trace the black wire, which goes to the same connector that doesn't go anywhere, so that's no help. So that leaves us with that green wire with the yellow stripe. And if we follow that all the way across the car, it comes to this connector, which runs in this loom, and then starts down this way. Okay, so what were we working on the other day? If we follow it all the way down and then loop back around, we'll notice that giant connector that I pulled out. Remember that bad boy? And inside there, you can see it, is that one green wire with the yellow stripe, almost in the middle. So, if we take that, plug it back in, hopefully it'll start. Alright, so we're back to running, and now we know that that giant connector is actually doing something important. So now that we're up and running, that leaves us with the ABS box and the connectors that go into it. Now, I could probably follow all these and do something really clever, or... oh, I didn't even cut all the way through. One, two. So, I'll put the negative back on the battery, try and start it, and if it starts, I can take all this out of the loom now. So there you go, another connector that's not important. Actually, two connectors. That was pretty cool. A guy named Taylor just came by and picked up the passenger side fender from me for 40 bucks. So I think he's happy. He also left with the window regulators for both sides because I didn't know which one went where, but I wanted to make sure that he left here happy, and now I'm happy. So cool. I guess let's continue. So obviously we needed that giant connector to actually run. I'm not sure if it's just grounding out in that circuit or what it's doing, but it is important, so we're just going to keep it all together for now. I guess I can continue with this wiring harness. Annoying birds. So I'm going to pause the video for you, but it should be instantaneous to jump to tomorrow. So, what up everybody? It's the next day and we're actually out on an adventure. And I've already bought a can of starting fluid. Do you guys know what we're gonna do today? We're going to look at another project car. I'll check in when we get there. That was kind of a bust. I'm sweating. I got greasy working on somebody else's car. So here's the deal with that Camaro. It's a 1995 Z28 6-speed manual LT1 with a supercharger. And the whole ad just reads, you know, doesn't run. And essentially, I thought, well, if we can get it to run, no problem, then, you know, I'll definitely buy it. Because this thing was listed for $1,500. And you take anything that's V8, rear-wheel drive, 6-speed manual, supercharged, they're nowhere near $1,500. So, I did manage to get it started, and it idled, but without the supercharger attached. So I had the intake manifold, not the manifold, I had the intake plenum from the supercharger off, and we did manage to start it on starter fluid, but then it was having a real rough idle. I mean, probably because the mass airflow sensor is either not reading correctly or something like that, but blue smoke was pouring out the back of it, and I'm guessing maybe valve seals. The thing has been sitting for 5 months since it started this issue, and the guy just stopped driving it. And the family members are all mechanics, so it's a little suspicious that, you know, they don't want to help out their brother and fix this car. So we decided to pass on it, even though, I mean, $1,500 V8 supercharged stick. But I talked to him about the price. I said, you know, what's the make it go away price? Because obviously this thing doesn't run right. There's something wrong with it. And he's like, $1,500. It's like, okay. Normally when people aren't willing to negotiate whatsoever, then I lose interest at that point. So we're walking away from it. Maybe we'll find something better. All right, I guess back to the Mustang.